Unicorns and glitter and taxidermy critters are just some of the things they like. They also enjoy 80s hair bands, Grizzly Adams and John Goodman, so if you think that's weird then you can take a hike. But the things they enjoy the most are making art and cracking jokes, so without further ado, here are your hosts. You've got your two artsy gals, your two artsy gals. Here are your two artsy gals.
Hey everybody, this is Katie.
And this is Lonnie.
And you are listening to Two Artsy Gals. Woo! Woohoo! So yeah, we are back.
Hi again.
We're recording stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I feel so discombobulated.
I do too. I'm so sorry, Katie. I feel like I didn't show up as my best self today.
Now I'm tired. This is like we just recorded our last episode. We're recording two today, so we're still in like la brain town. I'm not braining well today at all.
No, me neither. Brain tired.
Yeah. Well, my husband and I had an appointment at 8:30 this morning that we had to go to. So that means I had to get up at 7:30.
Oh, that's tough.
And I got to see one of my friends last night that I haven't seen in a really long time. She's in town visiting for one day. So even though we didn't stay late, I was so excited that I saw her that I just couldn't sleep. And then I fucking fell asleep on the couch and had a nap after our appointment while I was waiting for you to show up. So I literally woke up 5 minutes before you got here. So I still have that you know when you nap for too long and you get all dumb in the head?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
I'm super dumb-headed.
Yeah.
I have that fucking
I can't even
nap grog stuck to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, here we are again, bitching about how tired we are and how lame we are.
The two tired gals!
Yay! Or should it be...
Yeah.
We should snore. I do snore bad.
Me too. I've never
heard it. I have a CPAP machine.
I
have sleep apnea. So.
Scott needs one.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, my husband does that. You know what I do? Stick my toe in his butt while he's sleeping because it makes him go...
Wow.
It startles him awake. Because man, he snores so fucking loud. Sometimes it makes me, I love my husband, but there are nights that I lay there going, if I could just hold a pillow over his face right now and I wouldn't have to hear this anymore.
If I just had another bed somewhere I could go to. Yeah.
I know my mom always says, why don't you just go sleep in August's room? I'm like, because how weird would it be if he came home one night and his mom was in his bed? Yeah. It would be strange.
What are you doing?
Weird. Plus, ew. I don't know if you've ever smelled the 20-year-old boy's room.
Yeah.
Super gross place to be.
Yeah. No matter how much
20-year-old boy. I guess he's a man. I don't know. 20-year-old man child.
Yeah.
He's not 20. He'll be 20 at the end of the month. He's still 19. But it's just, I don't know. He comes home. He changes his clothes. He poops. He eats our food. And then he leaves again. So it's just right now his room is a stockpile of dirty laundry.
Oh.
And it smells like it.
Yeah.
Super gross.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a segue into fabric.
Yeah.
Because dirty clothes.
Dirty clothes.
I don't know. We're talking about designing your own fabric today.
Cool.
This is a passion of mine.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to paint a scenario for you.
Okay.
So I get a pattern and I want to make a dress for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And in my mind's eye, I envision fabric that I'm going to make this dress from.
Mm-hmm.
And I have it all planned out in my head. And then I go to Joann's Fabrics or Fabric Depot or whatever fabric store we want to go to around here.
Uh-huh.
And the fabric that I have drummed up in my silly little head doesn't actually exist.
Oh.
So then I'm very disappointed that I can't make the dress that was in my head because I have gotten all daydreamy and stuff. Then I get really fucking mad. Then I went to graphic design school. That's actually what my focus was in design school, was surface design and text. I wanted to be a fabric designer.
That's cool.
That's what I really wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I've actually kind of fallen out of it in the last couple of years just because, I don't know, you can only have so many things you can do.
Yeah.
You gotta let something go somewhere.
Yeah.
So I want to get back into it again. But I want to first talk about digital, using your computer, just because that's kind of my favorite. And it's what I have sitting in front of me.
Uh-huh.
So, but I also have some books that I want to recommend for it. So, and then Lonnie found some cool shit that's kind of related to our last episode that we recorded that we're going to talk about. But, so, let's just get right into this shit because I fucking love, and I'm going to, first and foremost, you don't actually have to have fancy. I want to make it clear that to do what I'm about to talk about, you don't need to have Adobe InDesign or Adobe Photoshop or anything like that. I have it because I'm a graphic designer and I went to graphic design school.
Yeah.
And I do digital drawings. But I also do drawings and scan it into my computer and then render it digitally. So there are just a lot of different ways to come at this. So the point is I don't want people to feel like because they don't have the big fancy programs that they can't have their own fabric printed this way.
Okay.
I have, like, on my wall in my office, I think Anne might have mentioned it actually in the interview. I have this big color chart for a company called Spoonflower. And this is a company where you can upload your designs and have them printed on your own custom fabric. I haven't actually found another company that does it yet, at least not on this scale. And they have contests all the time and stuff. So I have some digital designs that I've done. Like, I actually went through,
pretty.
This is my favorite. I have the ones with the crows. I'm going to make a blue version, a version with a blue background.
Nice.
These are just swatches. So what happens is the process for this is that you make your fabrics, you upload your design. Mm-hmm. Now, you can be a digital drawing, and I'm actually going to post a couple of videos that kind of help you figure out if you're using InDesign how to make a repeat pattern. If you don't know how to do that.
Yeah, okay.
So, because you'll want to be able to make a repeat pattern, because what you do when you get on Spoonflower is you upload your design and you have to factor in that it's going to be a repeating pattern over and over again. So there are ways you can do this. Talk a little bit about it and I'll put instruction up for any of the methods that we're going to talk about today. You have to be able to do an offset pattern so they line up and look nice when you're either having it printed or you're doing it yourself. So you upload and you tell it how you want it. Like the border prints, I just did a long drawing or a long piece of digital art. So it lines it up side by side.
Okay.
So, but some of them you'll want it to do, you'll just tell it what pattern, how you want it repeated, what the pattern repeat will be. Again, you can draw this digitally and upload it, or you can do a painting or a drawing anyway, in any medium that you do, and you can scan it into your computer and upload it that way. You can do JPEGs, you can do native files to any of the Adobe Creative Suite programs, and I think you can do GIFs and PNG files. I'm not sure. So, and then the website actually that sets up the pattern repeats for you. You order it. They have somewhere I have a sample book of the fabrics too. They have all different fabrics. Is it in here? It might be. Nope, it's not. I have a sample of all the fabric. This is cotton. They're standard heavyweight cotton. They have a lightweight cotton. They have silks. They have all different kinds of fabrics you can choose from. Now here's the problem with this. I have made one dress ever of the fabric that I designed on the Spoonflower site because it is not cheap.
No, yeah, it never goes on clearance.
No, and you do get a small discount if it's your design, but it's not a big discount. Now, the cool thing about Spoonflower is people can buy your designs and you get credits, Spoonflower credits for it, that you can either cash out or use towards fabric purchases. But there are a lot of people on there, and so it's just, and if you're not really prolifically designing, like I only have a few designs up there right now because I just kind of went meh and stopped doing it. So I do plan on doing it more, but this I'm going to lean over and grab it.
Okay.
So this is another fabric that I designed, and this is a dress that I made from it.
It's so pretty. Oh, wow.
But it cost me a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like, this fabric was really fucking expensive, and, I can't afford $20 a yard.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what it was.
Wow.
So this was a really expensive dress. that didn't turn out the way I wanted it to, and I'm super mad at it. But
I like the print.
the fabric was cool.
Yeah.
So I just love it. I love sewing. I love making my own clothes, and I think it's really neat that or even for home decor products or projects, like I don't want people to feel like you can only do this for garment clothing or garment clothing for garment sewing. Like some people just don't do it. Some people don't like doing it, and it's a meticulous, but it's really easy to sew fucking 2 pieces of fabric together in a square shape and make a pillow. Mm-hmm. So whatever level of sewing you're doing, this is a super fun way to like see your work.
Yeah.
And there are different ways to achieve it, but also, and I'll put up pictures of these fabric samples and stuff of the things that I did.
They're really cool.
There are some books that I really recommend for you guys if you're really, really into this. So one of them, if you really want to focus on digital design, this does have stuff that's not digital design, but it has a very good digital design section. It's called Mastering the Art of Fabric Printing and Design, Techniques, Tutorials, and Inspiration. It's by Lori Weisberg, or Weisburn. Excellent book, and the cover's fabric. Feel it.
Oh, cool.
But it's like printed. It's a really great book. It really helps a lot with pattern repeats and figuring out the math for that.
Ah, yes.
And there's another one called A Field Guide to Fabric Design, Design, Print, and Sell Your Own Fabric, Traditional and Digital Techniques, and it's by Kimberly, how would you say that? Kite? Right down here.
Yeah.
It's spelled like night, but with a K and no N. So Kite. Kimberly Kite. This also has has a really great digital design section as well as other methods that we're going to talk about here in just a moment. They're really good books, and they have really stunning photographs. Like, the photographs are great.
Yes.
And you'll get a lot of really good ideas. And then another book that I really recommend if you want to do, which I'm going to talk about next since I'm introducing this book, block printing on your own fabrics. I recommend Printing by Hand, A Modern Guide to Printing with Handmade Stamps, Stencils, and Silk Screens by Lena Corwin. And the photography for this is by Thayer Allison Growdy. Another great book with really great ideas and inspiration. Also really beautiful pictures. Mm-hmm. But all of these books have excellent, these belong in my library. They're my personal books. They have wonderful instruction. They're full of really great ideas. Mm-hmm. And I think any one of these would get you really started in the direction of designing your own fabrics.
Yeah.
So, and I think the first step, if you ever just thought, God, you know what? It would be really cool to have a dress that had that flower on it, or to, I don't know, have curtains with that flower on it, or even a tablecloth or cloth napkins. You just get this thing in your mind, and that's the first step. That's where you start. I have a fabric idea notebook I have notebooks for everything. So I have an ideas notebook just for fabric design that I jot stuff down sometimes.
Cool.
Because sometimes you see like cool color combinations. Mm-hmm. And then you're like, oh, that would be really pretty. And you forget. I keep a notebook, people. Yeah. Really. And also I have this really cool app. I think we talked about it on there's an app for that episode that we did that is let me look for it really quick. I have my phone right here. It is a color finder app. So where would I put that? Probably tools. I don't know. I have my phone all divided up into different sections. Anyway, what it does is you take the picture, and then I can't find it right now. I'll put it on I don't want to look at my phone for the whole episode. I'll put it up on our blog though. But what you do is you take a picture of, like, if you see cool flowers that have like this really crazy color combination, take a picture of it. It gives you the codes for the color digitally.
Oh, awesome.
So you can either have a paint made that is the colors that you found, or if you want to go render the design or do a design with those colors in it digitally, you have the hex codes for the colors. So you can just have them perfectly. And it's a great app, and I use it all the time for stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you'll definitely want to do that. And there are also websites that someone posted something the other day that I almost posted on the 2RC Gals Facebook page, but it wasn't clear how to use it. So I'm going to do a little bit of more research before I post it. But there was a site that allowed you, it told you what colors to use to mix to get the color that you wanted.
Oh, wow.
Like it was a color mixing guide. But again, it was pretty vague. So I feel like that there's probably, I know that like Golden has a color mixing guide on their website, and probably like Winsor and Newton and the other major, but it was a pretty generic, like, use this color and this color to get this color.
Oh, okay.
Kind of thing. So it was kind of cool. But anyway, let's talk about block printing. Because we've talked about carving stamps on this episode before, so that is definitely something that has applications in fabric design.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, you can carve stamps. You don't have to carve them. You can buy stamps. You can make vegetable stamps. Whatever.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. And I really like in this book, the printing by hand book, all of the stuff, most of the stuff that they do block printing on is muslin fabric. And I like that unbleached muslin look. I think it kind of has just a neat, I don't even know how to describe it. Almost,
I think it makes really pretty kitchen towels.
It does. And it would make a cute skirt. It would make a cute blouse. It would make really cute like curtains or anything. But you carve your stamp and print it on the fabric. And again, I'm not going to explain the math and how to do the whole thing here now, because
if you had a length of fabric, you could, if you were stamping by hand, you could kind of eyeball it, right?
You can eyeball it. You totally can. But there are also in here, there's advice on how to
precisely do it.
To precisely, even just to keep it even. Because
if you get it too far apart in one spot and closer in another.
Well, and also you want the pattern to repeat in a logical way.
Yeah.
So you don't want to just, do a row and then have another row that lines up weird and shit doesn't touch. And also keep in mind, if you're going to be sewing with this fabric, you're going to be cutting it and you're going to be sewing it together. So you want the designs to line up consistently throughout your garment or whatever, your curtains or whatever you're doing, because it's going to be weird. And trust me, it will make your fucking eye twitch.
Every time you look at it.
Yeah, you'll be like, oh, some bitch. Now you can also, there's also the option, and I've done this before with clothes that I just wanted to change. You can stamp clothing after you've already made it. Or curtains or anything like that. You can do it after the fact.
Skirts people make and then they stamp a design on it. And put a little, You
can do it after. You don't have to do it before you've sewn it. I personally like the look of doing it before. But it doesn't matter. You can do it anyway. So there's block printing, which is really cool. And I think that people don't always think of doing that. They always think of that kind of stuff.
No.
But it's fucking awesome.
Yeah. I wouldn't think of block printing on fabric until now.
And I feel like
it's cool.
This might be something you could do with older kids. I really wanted for us to be able to set aside some time and do some examples for that we could take pictures of. But I realized it's pretty involved.
Yeah.
And it would be like a day-long thing. And not that I don't want to spend a whole day with you, but it's the end of summer. It's super busy. Lonnie's daughter is dancing in the county fair right now every night. Like, how many nights a week she's been doing it?
She's doing it 4 times. Tonight's another night. Yeah.
So, and I have running, and it's like my son's birthday month, so we do a lot of like family shit around, and then people are doing camping, and I don't know. It just seemed like an episode that made sense to do because it's been hot out. Because it would dry fast. Like, you could do it outside. You could do it in your garage with the garage door open and just have a day. Even have your friends over to do that. We did this really cool thing, speaking of stamping. I want to say that I've talked about this on the show before, but maybe not. When my son was a baby, my family is Irish. Like, we come from Ireland. I've been to the town my family came from. So St. Patrick's Day is a pretty fucking big deal to my family.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's kind of funny. It's just tradition. We always had corned beef and cabbage, and it's always this big thing. So when my son was a tiny baby, we took this, I saw this on the Regis, when it was Regis and Kathy Lee show. We took this pan of acrylic paint and we dipped his little naked butt in the acrylic paint and we stamped it on t-shirt in one direction, and then you dip it and turn them the other way, and we stamped it in the other way, so it made a little baby butt print shamrock on all these t-shirts.
Gosh, that's so cute.
No one ever calls this number. Well, I'm not answering it if it's not available. I don't know who you are. I'm not answering the phone.
Yep.
Plus, I'm recording, so stop ringing.
Baby butt shamrock.
Yeah, it was super cute. They were, so you could do stamps on t-shirts, like anything like that.
I was going to ask what medium you recommend, what kind of dye or paint, or does
they make fabric paints
that
you can use, but also you can just use acrylic paint.
Does it stay when you wash it?
Yeah, you can set it with an iron. There are different ways to set it. You can iron it and set it.
Okay.
You can do fabric. There is fabric paint, though.
I bought some stuff that I think it's fabric. It's like a medium that you can mix with the acrylic paint, and that turns it into fabric paint. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever gotten acrylic paint on your clothing, though.
It doesn't come off easily,
No.
does it? No. Yeah,
No.
you have to use alcohol.
So,
Yeah.
and that doesn't even work sometimes.
Yeah, and even latex, paint still stays. Yeah.
Yep. I should probably I'll put some product links up for that stuff that you can add to acrylic paint. You'll want to use fabric paint if you want it to stick around.
Or dye.
Or
Is it
dyes or inks. There's
Okay.
all different kinds. So from that, you can use stencils.
Oh, okay.
And I think I did examples for stencils that you can use out of butcher paper that you iron onto fabric.
Sweet.
And then you don't have the drippy, leaky stuff around the corners.
Yeah.
You can also just cut paper stencils and stencil on fabric. Anything you can do on paper, you can really apply to fabrics.
That's true.
Now, one thing that before you start any of that, I'm going to recommend this. And you should do this before you sew with fabric anyway. No matter what fabric you're using, wash it and dry it in the manner you intend to wash and dry it once it's a finished whatever, garment or curtains or pillows, because of shrinkage, first and foremost. So you want it shrunk before you're going to work with it, so it's the size it's going to be after it's been, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you don't want what you're making for yourself to shrink and not fit you.
Yes, yeah.
So always wash.
Or even if it's a pillow, you don't want it to shrink and then
and not fit the pillow form.
Yeah.
You want to wash, dry, because I will tell you what, that is a tantrum to be had when you make something and then you wash it and dry it and it no longer fits over your fucking boobs. It has happened.
Yeah.
Or I'm all fucking torso. Like, really, my legs are like shrinky dinks, and the rest of my body, I'm 5'2", but I swear to you, 3/4 of that height is from my waist up. I'm all torso, and if I am not careful, if I make like pants or pajama pants or anything like that, if I don't wash and dry it before, it's too short in the crotch. Gives you a fucking buck knuckle.
Oh.
Goes right up the hoo-hoo.
Yeah.
No, wait, buck knuckle's dude stuff. What is it called? Camel toe.
toe.
Gives you horrific camel toe.
Oh, no. That sounds
because it shrinks up too much. So wash and dry your fabric. And if you're going to line dry it or air dry it and wash it by hand, still do that before you start working with it. And before you print your prints on it, before you do anything to it.
Okay.
So that you don't end up with upsets and disappointments.
Yes. Yeah.
So the stencils, you can also, I don't know much about it because I've never done screen printing. It's something that I'd like to experiment with and try. And I'm not going to talk about it too much in this episode, other than to just say that that is also a viable fabric design option. You can screen print your designs on fabric. I think that it probably works better for smaller pieces of fabric or t-shirts, pillows, like finished things, or, you know, on a smaller scale. I mean,
right, it'd be hard to do a repeating.
I don't know though. You could potentially, if you're working with the same color, just move the fabric along as you're screen printing. But I think that it has a potential to be messy and just riddled with user error.
Yeah.
Oh, also, now you can just dye fabric. But you can do tie-dye, of course. And I actually planned for us to do an episode on tie-dye this summer, but it just ended up not working out. So we will have an episode on tie-dye in the future. And I actually know of a batik artist who I really like, and I would like to have her as a guest on the show.
Cool.
So I haven't spoken to her about it yet, but I would like to. She's from Oregon, but she's not near. So it'll have to be after we upgrade computer equipment and stuff so we can do Skype interviews again. But I'd like to talk about that a little bit more. But that is a fabric design, a legitimate fabric design process, and also bleach dyeing.
Yeah.
Which you kind of have to be careful with, but you can do some cool shit with bleach dyeing. And all of this these are things that people tend to do on finished articles of clothing, which is cool. You can do that. But also know that you can just buy, I love going and buying just a big piece of muslin and dyeing it or painting on it or whatever. You can do that to your fabric before you use it.
I have this old book of batik and tie-dye ideas, and they have a freaking tent that is tie-dyed in the most beautiful colors.
Ooh.
And I'm just like, I want to lay in that tent and just...
It appeals to your 90s hippie, doesn't it?
It does. It's so
totally
cool
does.
looking.
Me too.
I'm like, how do you make your own tent? I want to make... But still have not yet to figure that, because it's like a cool dome, it's not just a triangle tent.
I slept under a tie-dyed teepee once in Eugene.
You wake up and you're just like, oh, life is beautiful.
Yeah,
Look
it was
at all
pretty
these
great.
colors.
It was great. So Lonnie found something really fucking cool when we were doing a little bit of post-podcast research, because we were looking for stuff to put on the Pinterest board for the episode that we just recorded last week. The, oh my god, sun prints.
Yeah.
But Lonnie found shit I didn't even fucking know existed, so
I didn't
Lonnie's gonna
either.
tell us about it because I like this application for fabric design.
Yes, it's called Inco Dye. I think it's a brand like Limo, I think is the brand name. And it is a photosensitive dye. It's Lumi, Lumi, Inco Dye. And it's a photosensitive dye. So you put it on your fabric, and then just like we did with the sun printing, you lay, and this person did a cute design with buttons or safety pins. I don't, anything.
The safety pin one was cool.
It's really cute. Yeah, and it...
and I suppose flowers, anything like that will work also.
And I guess you have to have their special detergent. So you do the sun print, and then you wash it out with their special detergent, and you have a sun print on fabric. And there was also ways you can print your photos from negatives, or make transparencies, so you can do photographs with the sun printing, and it just looks really fun. And there's also a stuff that you would paint on your fabric and then do the dye over.
Oh, so resistance dye.
A resistance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you could paint or draw your own design and then use that dye over it, and it would...
Well, that's in essence what batiking is you're just doing resistance
it's
dye.
like a wax,
so,
right? Yeah, it's so cool. I'm fascinated by this Inco dye
I wish
stuff.
that
I
we
really
would
wanna
have
play
known
with
about the Inco dye stuff when we recorded the sun printing episode.
Yeah, because we could have
I feel like we kind of
that.
fell short a little bit on the sun printing episode. Like we could have said more,
Yeah.
but we didn't. But oh
Now
well.
we are.
Now we're saying it again.
Yeah.
It's just ongoing, never-ending supply of food for your brain here.
I know, and always new things are being invented.
Yeah, right. I totally want to experiment with some of that stuff, though. That sounds really cool.
It's they have it's called a shadow printing kit, so you can just buy the kit that has everything you need, or you can buy the dye itself. It looks like they have a kit to make a scarf, or kits to do the photographs. Yeah.
Well, I'll put a link to that on the blog for sure.
Yeah, it's cool, and they have a variety of colors, so you don't just have to do the blue. Pretty amazing.
Yeah, I like the orange.
Or like I saw, because I was confused on Pinterest, there's all these pictures of people using doing multicolored sun prints, and I guess that's how they were doing it with this crazy dye stuff.
I see.
Yeah, just doing the background in different colors. But yeah. Neat-o.
I'm going to post a picture of the fabric swatches that I have that I've designed digitally.
They're really pretty.
I'll post a picture of my dress.
Yay!
that I made out of that. I wish we had more examples for you guys. Like I said, I originally thought that we would maybe just put a table up in the garage and just kind of screw around with it, but it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
There's too much crammed into the month of August, yo.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I know. And I feel like our listeners are probably going, no shit. Because every single person I have talked to
It's busy
about this is just so busy for the month of August.
Mm-hmm. I was wondering if it's just a Northwest thing, but I don't think it is. I think it's
I think
end of school.
in
being
any
just
state
all
that
of
doesn't
it.
have like year-round school,
Yeah.
I think people just try to cram the last of their summer into the month of August before school starts
we
again.
gotta have fun
So,
now, or we're never gonna have fun again.
I feel like I don't breathe from August 1st until after Labor Day weekend.
Yeah.
And then it's like, phew, okay.
We did it.
Calm down.
Survived
And I
another
thought that
summer.
would end after my son got out of high school. But it really hasn't.
Wow. Okay.
It just hasn't ended. It's like,
I was blaming my kid.
No, I was too. I mean, I think it's definitely lessened a little bit, but also I think my husband and I are now getting to the point in our empty nest syndrome thing that we're realizing, hey, we're allowed to have fun now. We can go out and do things. We don't have to worry about where the kid is or who's taking care of him. So we're actually being more social than we used to. So everybody's having like parties and stuff right now, and people are getting married right now, and everything is happening in August.
Yes.
Which is so just absolutely opposite of the way that I live my life, because I don't like to go outside when it's hot. So I am busiest from
September.
like September's fucking too hot still sometimes.
That's true. October's lovely.
October is my jam. October through March. Sometimes April. October through April. It's my most productive section of the year. What idea did I give you? Is it an idea you would like to share with the rest of the class?
Oh, it might bore people. I don't. Well, okay, because my man and I are going to get married at some point next year, and we wanted to do a thing. I don't know if it's going to work. We were thinking about getting one of the lodges at Silver Falls to have people come and just do a fun party camp out, because there's like a bunch of beds there. You just bring a mattress and sleep there. But maybe October would be an okay time to do that.
Yeah, an October
It'd be
wedding.
easier to get,
It'd be cooler, but it wouldn't be super fucking shitty yet.
but it would have to be a weekend because people are busy in October. I don't think there's any holidays that we get extra days off in October.
No.
Don't get a
It's
day
your
after
fucking
Halloween.
wedding. People are gonna fucking come to your wedding, dude. Seriously.
And it might just be a reception type thing. Like, we might just do a little
That's
civil
what
ceremony. And
my friend Robin just did last weekend. Like, we went to the ceremony, but it was like just close friends and immediate family. And then they had a big, like, party, like a big reception in the same place. But it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was really cool. We had a really good time.
Yay, good.
I am excited for you to have a wedding.
know. We haven't figured any of it out really yet.
No, well.
That's okay. Not this month. Not planning it this month.
No. You'll let me know ahead of time, I hope.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, fabric design. Y'all should do it.
Yeah, it's really cool.
And maybe someday I'll fulfill my dream of becoming a fabric designer.
Do it.
I should. I love it.
Yeah.
And again, seriously, anything's possible with fabric. Especially if you're using cotton, natural fabrics, cottons, silks, some wools, like anything like that, you can do cool shit on.
I'm always amazed when I walk into Fabric Depot by the design. I'm just like, how the hell? It is
Like a little bit overwhelming.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I can get anything.
And then I have
I
this
could do a theme room. Even
you totally could.
They even had grease. Fabric with like not grease, like the movie Grease or whatever.
Like
I was like, what? Like, it just.
oh, dude, they have everything, and they even have they have like Star Wars and like all kinds of shit.
Yeah,
anything.
Just like, oh my gosh, I can't even.
I even found fabric with the Aristocats on it, and that's like
cute.
super
So-
old movie.
Yeah.
That's from when we were little kids.
Yeah. And then beyond that, there's like a million cute things. Like everywhere I turn, I'm like, oh my God, that's cute.
I know, and
Oh my
every
God,
year
that's
in
cute.
October, as soon as the Halloween shit starts going really super on sale because they're going to change it,
Yes.
I buy that
The
shit
skeleton
up.
ones.
With any kind of skeleton, any kind of like creepy looking stuff.
Yeah.
I buy it and I
You-
hoard it and I
yes.
save it and I love it.
Ravens and yes, that stuff's good.
Because it's awesome. I have about 4 yards of stuff that I bought last year that was really super on sale that I haven't made a dress from yet, but I have plans for it.
For some reason, I like the Valentine's Day stuff. The hearts.
I like the hearts.
hearts. I don't know.
You know what?
like
When I think of
hearts.
you, like, I think when I see like stuff with red and with white polka dots or anything like that, I always think of you.
Aw. I like that stuff. It's cute.
It's awesome. So anyway, we just keep
I know, I
ranting about the
geeked.
fabric
I know,
design,
I geeked
but
for a second.
it's an exciting thing. I love it. And I hope that
Yeah.
you guys find some useful information. And like I said, I'm going to put a lot of, I'll put a lot of links up with little tutorials and
Cool.
stuff for people.
Yeah, because, I mean, like you were saying about gifts before, I mean, like a lovely printed towel or something for the kitchen. I don't know. How cool is that? Like,
Yeah.
especially if you designed it. Be like, yeah, I made this. It's really cool.
Oh my gosh, now I'm all sucked into these books. I haven't looked
know,
at them in a
they're
while.
pretty books.
So next week, what are we fucking talking? Oh, we're going to talk about making your own lamps.
Wow.
And that's going to be,
I really like the one you did for your brother.
I'm going to be talking about the alien lamp from my brother. I'm going to be
really
talking
want
about
one.
another one that I'm working on right now. But we're also going to be not just electrical lamps. We're going to talk a little bit about, candle, like lanterns and stuff that you can make yourself.
Okay.
All kinds of cool shit.
Okay.
Because, let's face it, when you're having a party outside at night, lighting is what sets the mood.
Yeah.
And I like to have a nice
Oh,
party
man, I have-
with a good mood.
Daydream. Yeah.
I have,
We
yeah.
have a great yard that would be beautiful with some cool lights going on
Oh,
in it.
yeah. Well, I'm going to come over and help you make that happen.
Oh,
'cause
that'd be so cool. Oh,
But-
I love illuminated outdoor spaces. I like when people light up
you
their
sound like
trees.
such a nerd. I do too, though. But
Illuminated
yeah, so we're going to be
outdoor
talking about all that. We're going to be talking
Cool.
about ways to make cool lamps. I'm going to talk about the lamp that I'm working on right now because it's going to be rad. And I'm going to talk about my adventures in the Lego store at the mall, which are directly related to that lamp that I'm making right now. So,
You're making it sound sexy.
it's pretty fucking sexy.
Yeah.
So until next week, go make some cool shit, yo.
Just do it now.
And make it sexy too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm.